Today on the program, we have the honor of hosting a true visionary, a dynamic medical professional whose determination and passion have not only transformed her own life, but have also uplifted countless others in the process. Our guest tonight is none other than Dr. Lungile Mhlongo, a trailblazer in the world of aesthetic medicine. Armed with a Bachelor of Medicine and Bachelor of Surgery from UKZN Medical School, as well as diplomas and advanced diplomas in aesthetic medicine, Dr. Lu's journey is nothing short of inspiring. But what truly sets Dr. Lu apart is her remarkable story of resilience and reinvention. From battling severe acne to charting a new path in aesthetic medicine, she has not only overcome personal obstacles, but has also emerged as a beacon of hope for countless others facing similar challenges. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the visionary behind it all, the true epitome of resilience and compassion. I am talking about none other than Dr. Lu.
I was about to stand and do an upload for someone you're introducing.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was me. Thank you so much for having me.
You know, I'm very glad to have you on the show specifically. You know, some people may be asking, why Dr. Lu? She's South African. But anyways, we'll get into the details of why we are profiling you today. Just to start off with, can you share your personal journey, you know, from growing up to practicing and then, you know, ending up as an entrepreneur in the aesthetic medicine space?
It's been quite a journey, quite a journey. I'm from South Africa, like you've said. I'm from the rural and the outskirts of KZN in the west side called KwaNgqolosi, which is a previously disadvantaged area. So I grew up there being the 10th child of 8 girls and 1 boy. So you already know that I didn't have it easy because by the time it gets to me, it's just crumbs of everything else. So I grew up there, studied there. And then when I grew up, I was very close to my father. I was like my dad's favorite. Like he even named me favorite. My second name is favorite.
Oh,
so
wow.
My siblings can argue me being a favorite, but he named me favorite, so I was his favorite.
It's in your ID.
Yes, so he was my favorite as well. So when we grew up, I was very, very close to him. And to a point where when I was in grade 11, he had a problem where he'd have an attack, and then there were only 2 doctors in South Africa that could help him at the time. So he had an attack in December. I remember it was the 26th of December. And he went, found a doctor fixed him. He came back home and it was joyous. And then 3 weeks later in January, I know it was around his birthday, he got this attack again. But unfortunately, these 2 doctors were out of the country and they were on holiday. So I watched my favorite suffering. I watched him go through pain. I watched him crying. My dad was a superhero. I'd never seen him cry ever. So I watched him crying because of the pain until he lost his life to the pain. So after he lost his life, I was like, why did these doctors go on holiday? Like, they're so inconsiderate. They didn't think about me and my family. Now we've lost the head of the house. I've lost my favorites as well. So I was angry. I was depressed. I'm almost suicidal until I got to a point where I asked myself, what is the actual problem here? Then we found out the problem was a shortage of doctors in South Africa. Then I decided, let me be the change I want to see. I don't want to see another young girl going through what I'm going through just because there's a shortage. Let me be the change I want to see. And that's how I went into medicine. So I then stepped into medicine and from there moved on, started working. And when fast forward to when I was working, I was 25, had a bit of psychological issues. Then I started breaking out. I had acne on my face, my chest, and my back. And then that led me, if you know me, you've seen me now, I love people. I want to hug you. I want to speak to your face like this. But that acne deprived me of that because every time I come too close, I feel like you're making skin contact before you make eye contact. And then people would actually go as far as asking you, what happened to you? And I don't know. I didn't know what happened to me. Then I went into depression because of that. went on antidepressants, and when I was on antidepressants, I went back to the little girl that was in grade 11. I was like, what is the actual problem here?
Yeah.
The actual problem was that I had acne, so I had to find a solution to the problem, and then I found a solution, stopped antidepressants, and then I extended the solution to everyone else. That's how Numa Medical Aesthetics was born, where we are going beyond skin to help you with your skin, with your non-surgical cosmetic issues, so we can help you to present yourself better and be able to cement yourself in whatever field and whatever space you are in.
That is so inspirational, but I can imagine, you know, coming up with a brand, working with so many different people, there must be challenges. Well, not must, but there are definitely challenges. What are some of the challenges that you experienced in your career, especially during the transition period, and how did you overcome them? You know, looking at the fact that it was established in 2018, we went through COVID, but you're still standing.
That was the darkest time of every business.
Yeah.
But for me, starting was a problem, hey? Because before I started, I had a lot of people telling me it's an oversaturated industry.
Oh, yes.
Why would you want to go to this industry? Why would you want to do this? As a result, where our our Genesis practice is in Durban, Umhlanga, we in the medical center, there's at least 4 establishments that do what we do.
Sure.
So I had to push beyond that, and knowing why I do this is what pushed me. And I am a firm believer that regardless of how oversaturated the market is, if God called you for it, that's where you're going to find roots and find purpose in what you do. 5 years later, we've grown to 5 branches. If I had listened to those people, then I wouldn't have started even. And then the second challenge you've mentioned, that it was a challenge to everyone. COVID. And every day I'm grateful to God that my business made it through COVID, because things were bad. But it helped me to diversify and to look at different ways of doing things. Our online store was born from there. There's a lot of digital things that we included. We introduced virtual consultations. So we had to think outside of the box regardless of the challenge that we were facing.
And, you know, now someone might be asking, why have you brought her to Eswatini TV? Why is she on Young Climbers specifically? Now we get to talk about the expansion of the brand, because, you know, you could have chosen any other country to place your brand in, but you came to Eswatini, and you're not only placing your brand here, you're also, you know, doing some CSR here and there, you know, giving back to our community. Why did you choose Eswatini specifically, and, you know, why are you doing what you're doing for the kingdom?
Eswatini is home, man. I was we went to a school that we're going to be adopting some of the kids from there, that we're going to be helping with their skin problems. And when I was speaking to them, I always get tempted to just jump into Zulu, because this is home.
Yes.
The flight was 15 minutes to get here. So it is home. So what happened was, when we started in Durban, we had a lot of clients that were driving all the way from Eswatini to come access our services in South Africa. So we grew that clientele, and we grew a family here even before we made a footprint here. So when we came here, it was already home.
And now, you know, speaking of the things you have done, I feel like you are success, you define success. So I don't want to put it out there, because, you know, you're the rightful person to talk about all of the milestones, and which have been the most memorable for you and the most rewarding. When you look at them, you say, I've made it, you know.
I'm the worst person, because for me, success is to have happy people around you. And for me, success is to be able to have shelter and to have family that I can go back to. For me, success is to be able to create jobs for people to feed their families. For me, success is seeing my clients step from being not confident with their skin to beaming and to just doing their best in their fields because we've helped them with their skin. For me, that is a definition of success. All these things come as a result of these things that I've mentioned as success to me. And for me, it's doing what I'm passionate about is success. Because sometimes in business, I always say this, in business you find that there are days where it's cold, there's no client that's gonna walk in through the door, but you still need to wake up, and you still have a couple of people that are dependent on you, that they need the salary. The only thing that wakes you up in the morning to keep pushing, I typically grateful to God for social media.
Yeah.
I just literally stalk my clients. I go to their pages and I have a look at how their progress and look at how when they started Numa. And you can even see their small changes.
Yes.
The way they sit, the way they walk. And then that drives me to wake up and go try again. I'm like, there's another person that needs this. That makes me go back to work. And that's success to me.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of that, speaking of social media specifically, it's very safe to say you're like a celebrity doctor. Not you are a celebrity, then you are a celebrity doctor. Can you just talk about your journey in attracting your clientele, and of course, you know, the people that you've engaged with, and how social media has been a marketing tool for you and your brand? Because hey, you've got like 4 social media accounts apart from your personal one. You've broken it down, and they're all being well received, you know, by the people. They've all got thousands and thousands of followers. Can you briefly explain how social media has been a marketing tool for you and your brand?
Yeah, I told you, I'm a storyteller. I'm going to take you back to where it started.
Yeah.
So when I started in 2018, I had built this nice establishment. I have these treatments that I know they work, and I have staff as well. So now what the problem was to get the clients to come in to experience our products. So I'm like, okay, marketing now. So being the ambitious person that I am, always been, always will be, I go to the local radio stations and I inquire, I want to do like a 30 seconds ad and this billboards, everything else.
Yeah.
It was all good. They received me. They even made coffee for me. So until I got the quotations, I was like, oh, you don't have this money. You're not even making this money annually. So you're going to use it for 60-second radio slides.
Never.
Which it's brilliant, it's good. But the thing is, at the time...
guarantee.
I had to be realistic with myself. I came back, I'm like, you know what? All these are good, all in good time. So what can you use now that you have, that you can work with? And then I realized it's in my hand. It's my phone. Social media, it's free. I don't have to pay anyone to do this. Then I started posting my work. Then it started attracting people, and people will come in and they'll just post. And that's how we grew. We grew from there. And it's, if I can tell you, 80% of our clientele are from either someone who saw us on social media or was referred from someone who saw us on social media. And people sometimes use social media as a reference point now to then go back. That's where we post most of our results, our transformations, our stories, so that when you hear about this brand, you can also go back and go see it's real people that are going through real treatments. And then it has really, really worked for us in that sense. So I always say in business, work with what you have.
Yes, and we all have phones.
Yes.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break, but when we return, it is more of Dr. Lou and Numa Aesthetics. Welcome to the ultimate guide to your weekend entertainment. Get ready to groove with us as we bring you the hottest music videos and exclusive interviews with your favorite celebrities. Experience fresh music videos from new releases, underground sensations, and emerging talent. Whether you're hip-hop, amapiano, or afro, we've got something for everyone.
And if you've missed out on any of the excitement, don't worry, we've got you covered. Join us for an electrifying journey through the music scene. Relive the magic and get inspired for your next weekend adventure.
Busy ngiyatibuta, busy ngiyatipenya, bonke kwami kuyakhalela.
So tune into This Week at Eswatini for a weekly dose of music, entertainment, and unforgettable experience. Get ready to groove because the weekend starts here.
You got me stuck on you. Come on, it's a simple song. Sing with me. Say, you got me stuck on you.
Welcome back. We are still unpacking the brand, the personality, and of course, how she has poured her heart into many souls and changed people's lives in different countries, and now, most importantly, Eswatini. Welcome back, Dr. Lou.
Thank you so much.
Now moving on, you've won so many awards, and you are truly like an inspiration for the youth in South Africa and in many different countries. What are you hoping to give back or to leave the youth with now that you've come to Eswatini? If I could just tell you, we do not have our aesthetic medicine field is not as broad as it is in, South Africa. So how are you hoping to impact or change that in the Kingdom of Eswatini?
I think my task is easy and pretty simple.
Yeah.
Number one, personally, my dream and my mission is to be a tangible example of a dream realized and a tangible example of if you go for it and if you're passionate about it, you can achieve it.
Yeah.
That's just on the personal side. But when it comes to me and what I want, I'm hoping to do and what we've been doing in SA, it's us to build a family where it's not you're not being petty if you're saying I have a pimple on my face and I can't do that presentation at work and I have pigmentation here, I always have to cover myself up in makeup. I can't you can attest to this, you're a woman.
Yes.
So if you're wearing the dress where you feel good and your makeup and your eyelashes are facing a certain way and your edges are layered nicely, you are able to stand there with confidence. Even what you are presenting, you sell it before you even speak it. So when it comes to the things of skin and non-surgical cosmetic medicine, which is what we do, I always say, if you don't like it, find a safe way to change it so you can present your best self to the world. So that even if, no matter how much work I put into my presentation, which is good, you have to put in work into your presentations and pitching your business and everything else. But no matter how much you put in the background, but this we can't overlook, that the person that's going to be presenting this and pitching this business needs to feel good. For me, if you're coming to pitch your business and you are hiding and you're hiding yourself, I'm not going to even listen to yourself because you're not even confident on what you're about to speak about. So mine, when we come to Eswatini, we want to help young people. We want to help even older people to be able to feel good, look good, and present themselves better. And that's going to help us as a society as a whole to be able to have a group of young people, a group of driven, confident people that are just going for it. They're not limited by how they look and how they feel as well. So that's basically our mission. Hence, we went to see the school, hoping we're going to be able to get more assistance to be able to help more children to actually, because I believe our foundation is called Angels Are Made at Numa, because we believe every child has a potential to soar like an angel. So we don't want kids that are going to limit their potential because they had acne. We don't want kids that are going to limit their potential because those are our future leaders. We don't want them to feel any less because of how they look and how they feel. We don't want kids that don't have skin problems to bully these kids that have issues. We want them to know it's normal to have acne at your age. We want you to know the causes. It's not because I didn't bath. It's not because I used the wrong cream. It's a normal physiological process. So that's where our NPO comes in, Angels Are Made, where we teach the ones that don't have acne against bullying, and then we help these ones to reach their fullest potential. So that's why when we come into Eswatini and we're partnering with local businesses and partnering with schools, we want to help everyone to feel good, present themselves better, and let's just take on the world.
And be happy, of course. All righty. And now, what is your vision for non-surgical cosmetic procedures in Africa? What are you hoping for the future of this field?
I
know I've seen you go to Paris. You're taking it away.
I just want it all.
Yeah.
For me as well, when I went to Paris, I had a speaking engagement, and we were showcasing. We manufacture our own skincare products in South Africa, so we were showcasing those products as well in Paris. So for me, if I had not gone through that point of dealing with my acne and everything else, I would have deprived myself of all these things. So for me, globally, we want to be able, what we're doing, which is certainly in a smaller scale, we want to do it globally, because everywhere, we are all human. We all have skin, we are all covered in skin. So we need to be able to, everyone needs to feel good, everyone needs to look good, everyone needs to present themselves better, so that we can reach our fullest potential. But with God's grace, we've been able to, me waking up every day to do what I'm passionate about, we've gotten such amazing recognition across the globe. We now have our products available in London. We have our products available in Botswana. We're going to have them available in Kenya soon. And then now we have an actual branch in Eswatini, which is literally our first breaking out of the borders, and the reception has been really, really amazing.
And you know, someone might be wanting to receive more of Dr. Lou, more of Numa medical aesthetics. But you know, so what we face in Eswatini, like, is really disheartening at times. There are people who cannot reach, you know, the clinic maybe. But we do hope that you will be influential to them, just for a word of advice for a child maybe who's at Lavumisa is very far, if I can tell you, who's not able to reach you in any way. What piece of advice? Maybe she's just looking, or he is looking at you and saying, I want to become that type of doctor. I want to heal people's skin. I want to make people angels. What piece of advice would you have for that person?
Okay, I refer to myself as a doctorpreneur because I know the best of both worlds, that challenges and everything else that goes with being a doctor and being an entrepreneur as well. So my advice would be, number one, it doesn't matter. You don't choose where you are born.
Of course.
But you decide where you end up based on how you behave in between. I always say, this is how I did it. I had to sit down with myself and be realistic with where I was and where I come from and how things are. I had to shut down all these illusions of social media where everyone is just making it. And I had to be real and say, no one is posting their failures on social media. So let me be real with who Lungile is. Where does Lungile want to be in 10 years, 20 years time? So I placed myself there, and this is the person that I saw. And then I came back to now and saying, what does Lungile have to do to get to where she wants to go? I had to go through things like, I had to, my personality, what do I have to do on a daily basis to make it to the 10 years? I had to go back to saying, I have to remain authentic on who I am, because I can wake up in the morning and go do what you do. I can wake up tomorrow and I want to be a host. If I go there because I saw you doing it on social media and you're doing it so well, that's your call. I have to remain authentic to who I am and what my call is and what makes me happy and what makes me full and content. So my advice to the young people, remain authentic, be realistic with where you are, be realistic with where you want to be, and be realistic with who you surround yourself with. There's a saying that says you are a sum total of the 5 people you spend time with. So if in 10 years' time, I want to be a president, for instance, I need to look at the 5 people around me and ask myself, are these people's characters defining the person I want to be in 10 years' time? And then there's nothing wrong with you saying, you can even, I'm very vocal, I tell my friends, hey, I'll tell you, I'm like, you know, you're a good person, but where I'm trying to go, our characters don't align. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with what you're doing, but it's not aligning with the person that I'm trying to become. So I'm very intentional with people that I keep around me. I always keep people around me that have made it. I try so that I can be the smallest person in the room. It challenges me to go read more books. It challenges me to go back to school and study. It challenges me to go do it better and meet even better people in future. So be authentic, check your surroundings and do as much research as you can around what you want to do. We have internet now. The internet is available. It can destroy you, it can make you. Choose what you want to use the internet for. On YouTube, there are things that can destroy you and there are things that can teach you and make you a better person. So choose people around you, be authentic, and then use the internet for the betterment and for the betterment of yourself, and have very good self-leadership. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you so much, Dr. Lou. I don't know if you did not learn from that, what else do you need? Of course, we would like to have more time with you, but you know, unfortunately,
Dual citizenship.
unfortunately, you know, we have, you know, come to the end of the show. But what we'd lastly like to know is that we did speak about you engaging, you know, into the Kingdom of Eswatini, but we were not specific about where people can engage with the Numa brand, and of course, you know, learn more about their skin, their bodies, and of course, you know, non-surgical cosmetics, because hey, we're not used to these things, really.
That is good. I always say with my practice, we are an educational practice. I want you to know what we're doing to you and why we're doing it as well.
Of course.
So with Eswatini, we are at the Ning Office Park. We have partnered with Lina Mandla Medical Center, so you can look them up on social media as well. And then you can also look us up. We are Numa Aesthetics on social media and on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok as well. You can look us up there. You can see some of our work, what we've done. And then most of the times we share our work, not just to show off that this person had acne and we've done this. We want you to see yourself in this and know there's a solution. So you can look us up there and then let's glow.
But Mary, thank you so much once again for joining us. I do wish we had more time to unpack the brand, but I'm sure that Emaswati will receive the brand once again because it is a relaunch. You are having a relaunch in the Kingdom of Eswatini, but we do hope they will be receiving the brand once again with so much love and care. And of course, we'll be seeing people glow all over the Kingdom of Eswatini. With that said, Babuguna Makai, thank you so much for joining Young Climber once again. We do hope to see you next week with another one, and of course giving you inspiration to do beautiful things, you know, and grow into many industries. With that said, it's good night.